our next.
Hey everyone, just was watching this video on the RTR, the big announcements out. So I don't know what to think on this. Have any of you looked at it, watched it? It it's going to be different than the past years. They're going to have a separate location for camping and for attending seminars, etc. For a lot of people, it's going to mean like a 20-mile commute. Maybe less if you can stay closer. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a pretty big event. People have said that. For me, I started 2 years ago. Went to my first RTR, and so this will be the 2020 RTR coming up. So I guess went to the 2018 RTR first time. And at the time, the reports were saying that there was about 500 people the year before. And I think, I'm not a big one of people, but 500 people, yeah, okay. Well, when I went, there was the loose estimate on the numbers was like 8,000 people. I was like, whoa. It was a big event, a lot of people there. And then, of course, last year was even bigger. For me, the first year was okay. I just found a little spot to camp by myself, associated with a few people, and met a few people. But for the most part, I had my own camp. I was divided by the wash on one side, so people could only come from the other side. And I wasn't too accessible. I was, but I was tucked away. And I had my little Subaru Outback at the time. So, anyways, it worked for me. It was an okay event. I did go last year, and I don't have my shirt on. I have one of my friends. He's actually in Lake Havasu, and he got together with them. They were looking for volunteers, and we got together a crew. He got together a crew to work on the stage and putting the stage and volunteer and stuff. And in exchange, we got in early. We got our own little camping area, which was okay. It wasn't too bad. And of course, we had the rains, and it was a big muddy mess. But if you didn't go anywhere, if you planned ahead, it wasn't bad. You just sit there and watch all the other people trying to get around. And this really wasn't a talk about the RTR. I mean, it was, but what the heck? Just go with the flow. Obviously, me, no script, right? And I thought about it, and a lot of people were complaining about the muddy mess, and I lived in the mountains for 15 years, and the Colorado Rockies, and it was 13 miles to the nearest convenience store, which was the neighborhood market. I mean, it's no big deal to me. Otherwise, you go 45 minutes to an hour down to where town is, where a Walmart is or whatever. And you just planned ahead. If you knew a storm was coming in and you needed certain supplies to get through that storm, you planned ahead. You went and bought it. You didn't try to rough the snow. And I mean, I did a few times, but because I didn't plan ahead. But basically, you did plan ahead. Most people planned ahead and got their supplies, whether it's food or cigarettes or gas or whatever you need, firewood. Just plan ahead. Well, same thing on this. If you're there, and one of the big talks about the RTR last year coming up, all the naysayers, if there's going to be a storm, a rainstorm, it's going to get flooded out, and everybody's going to wash away, and everybody's going to get stuck, and which some people did get stuck, but we didn't even wash away. The water came up, it flowed, it went down. It wasn't a big deal. If you try to drive through it, tried to drive through the grounds and stuff, you get stuck. There was lots of people got stuck because they tried to move, they tried to leave. That's the way it goes. But it didn't flood. So again, if you just plan ahead, then it's not a problem. Anyway, so the RTR was okay. There was just a lot of people, and me personally, between the 2 years, I noticed a big change in, I guess, the attendees, or the, how do I want to say this? The attitude of the attendees. It was more, the year prior, it was more of the, down home, friendly neighbor, van dwellers. Everybody, wants to know everybody and get along and that kind of thing. And last year had the element of the city slicker, right? Everybody's coming in the big expensive toys and the big expensive four-wheel drives and the ATVs and the motorcycles and all that stuff. And what I noticed is a lot of rip roaring around, a little bit less lack of respect for people, other people. Um, it wasn't a lot of it, but there was enough to notice what was going on. And to me, it just seemed like a new element of attendees were there. And I don't know why. Hold on a second. All right, stop. Got a liquor, so. Anyways, um, yeah. So it was just, it was interesting at best. Um, so I don't know how this next RTR is going to go. Um, I suspect that because of the two separate locations, that you're probably going to have less attendees overall, just because of the two separate locations. And maybe not. Maybe they'll just all gather because the event is going on, and they'll just deal with it. A lot will, but I think that you're going to have a lot of those other elements just decide not to. Um, who knows? I could be totally wrong. Now, me personally, I'm not going. And even before this announcement, I just said, well, there's a couple of reasons for that. After the last RTR, especially with a few friends, they pretty much felt the same way. But myself, I can only speak for myself. I decided I'm not going to go the next year. Before things changed, I didn't have no idea, but I decided I wasn't going to go the next year. My thought was, while everybody is congregated down at the RTR, I would just go elsewhere, and it should be less crowded. I thought. I was thinking Ehrenberg or something like that. Well, now, because of the RTR being different this year, where people are going to have to find their own places to camp and whatever, then I'm thinking probably Ehrenberg. I mean, it's not going to be crowded, so to speak, but where I like to go, the good premium spots will probably be taken up. And they may be anyways, by people that don't even go to the RTR. There are people that go camping in those areas that don't go to the RTR or have no clue about the RTR. So it's hard to say. But the other reasons I'm not going is because, right now, I mean, I'm not even getting my trailer ready to go anywhere necessarily, not in the near future, because I'm taking care of my mom. So that's not an option anyways, not going anywhere. I guess I'm here camping in my trailer. But that's, yeah, until something changes in that department, I'm stuck. So I'm not going anywhere. The best I can do is camp with people is my little trailers, which I have to get back to work on and get the lighting going. But anyways, I just wanted to touch base. I know my video's gotten distracted. I always get distracted. I don't have a script. I don't have a controlled environment. Got a dog licking, but it's just shoot and go video down, and I guess they say straight and dirty. So anyways, I just thought I'd share that with you, my thoughts on it, and I'm more curious to see what your thoughts are. Are you planning to go to the RTR this year? And if so, when do you think you might go? I mean, because some people go for part of it, some people go the latter half, some people go, and then a lot of people go the full length. So, just kind of curious about your opinions on it, and we'll go from there. Um, myself, coming up here pretty soon, I've got gonna have a video of. I have a friend, but a longtime viewer of my channel, even the other channel that I had before I deleted it. Um, she's here in town. She is from Canada, and she stopped by here and is hanging out for a while, and then she's going to head on to points, probably southward. So going to be doing a quick video on her, and I think you'll find it interesting. She's in a minivan. So anyways, enough about me. I hope you liked the video, even though I was going rah 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 rah. I might have to go do it again, just because. So again, leave some comments in the bottom here, and like if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed and want more notifications. Things I have coming up in the future, really quick, other than the minivan video. I've got I still got on the back shelf. I got an actual PC I'm going to build, a computer, and that's the furthest thing from what you need to have in a van or whatever. But because I have the power, I'm going to do it for now, because my stay here is indefinite, and I don't have any idea, or even I can't even see a point right now where I'll be leaving. So might as well have what I would like to have. But I'm thinking about getting a I don't know if you've seen them, the brain fart. It's out by Weingard. It's the Togo internet. So Roadlink, I think they call it. So I've noticed that I don't want to get into long details, but I've noticed that there hasn't been much testing of it as far as the connection to mobile data. So I want to get some real numbers on those. Even though I'm in the city, I want to get some numbers on it, and not only the speed, but the amount of data that can be used, and see if there's any cap in the future. I'll try to measure it and see if they cap it off or whatever they do. So that's something I want to do. And then of course I got the eventual solar install, and the sizable battery bank install. And then I'm going to be doing my wood stove. I'm going to be, I've already installed it, but I'm going to be remounting it. So that'll be better. All right, I'm going to end it here. Guys, take care of yourselves and take care of each other.